Hello, Tiffin and Seneca County. My name is Brian Bilger with Bilger's Lawn and Landscape. We're here to do another episode for the Seneca News Daily on tips and tricks to get your lawn and landscape ready for not only fall but winter as well. So a couple things that we want you to consider is for your lawn. If you look down here, we still have what we call as bent grass that has not come back. Technically, we are still in a drought, but with the little rain we had, we found that a lot of our grasses come back. But I just want to let you know it's normal that places where it's bent grass, and that's exactly what it looks like. It's grass that's kind of bent over. A lot of that has not come back yet. So some things that you're going to want to do going into later fall and into winter is it is still warm enough out. You just are going to want to have to water since Mother Nature's not helping us. Is you can still seed, which a lot of places that would help. You're going to want to do either a fall fertilizer, which is going to either help for the winter and help bring it back. You're just not going to want to do that strong nitrogen-based fall fertilizer if you're seeding at the same time. That will hurt the germination. So seeding, core aeration, which means you're pulling the plugs out, getting some oxygen to the roots. You're going to want to make sure, which you can see, leaves are starting to fall, pretty heavy now. At least before the end of the season, get all your leaves cleaned up. You can avoid something that's called snow mold. So get your leaves cleaned up, core aeration, seeding, fall fertilizer. So those are some of the things to check off the boxes that you're going to want to do with your lawn to make sure you're in great shape for the spring. So when it comes to the landscape, there's a handful of things that you're going to want to consider to do. One of them is just doing some corrective pruning, and that's going to help things like your hydrangeas here. There's nothing wrong with leaving some of these flower petals on, but a lot of times we'll just prune it off just to keep its shape. And you take these, sometimes people like to bring them into the house. With these woodier type hydrangeas, you can actually go way down, and that'll help control its size. But certainly if you want to let it get a little larger, just trim this off, so that way when the new growth comes in the spring, you won't have the old flowers mixed with the new. So that would be one thing with the woodier type hydrangeas, cutting the flower petals off. Some of the, and these are all new varieties of hydrangeas. Some of with the more, the stems that are a little less woody, you can take those down even further. In general, especially in the winter, it's a great time to get shrubs smaller. A lot of the plants are dormant, so that's a good time to really prune hard on some of your woody shrubs to take the size down and do some corrective pruning. Something that really kind of cleans up the landscape is your perennials. A lot of times you're just able to pull this out and get rid of some of the dead growth on it. But also you can get in, if not, cut all this stuff back. It just cleans it up before winter, makes your landscape look a lot nicer. Getting the perennials cut back and cleaned up is something we like to do. Certainly that's something you can do in the spring, but again, it kind of puts things to bed. So this would be a great example. So all perennials, we'll show you another example here of some perennials we like to keep up to give you a little winter interest. But these type of viburnums really get kind of oversized. So you can do it now. We like to wait until it's really cold, leaves have fallen off. Then you can really take some size down on some of these woodier shrubs. So the ornamental grasses, personally, I like to leave them up so you have some type of interest during the winter. Obviously they'll die back. You just want to make sure you cut them back early in the spring. Although if you're in a really windy area, which today kind of feels that way, where it's going to blow your stalks from your grasses all around, it's probably a better idea to get them cut down before the winter. So we're going to leave them up, but that's kind of up to you. There's certainly different varieties, and they kind of, like I said, give you a little bit of interest in the fall, so, and winter. Depends how they're looking. This is another type of perennial sedum. These aren't looking real good, so we might go ahead and just cut them back. And again, you can take it right down on the ground. But a lot of times, this is a type of plant with these seed heads that, again, it doesn't matter if you take it down in the spring or the fall, but some people leave them up just so you have something in the winter, which always kind of reminds us why it's so important to have evergreens mixed in. So in the middle of the winter, you still have some nice winter interest. So when you go to plan your landscaping, you want to have a nice mix of different type of plant material. So those are just a couple things you're going to want to think about in the lawn and landscape before the season comes to an end. It's a beautiful day here in Tiffin, Ohio. Still plenty of time to get out in the yard and do things. If it's something you'd rather not do, we certainly would be happy to help you. You can call us at 419-448-4769. That's 448-GROW. Thanks again. Have a great week.